Hey guys, this is Ryan from Nite Tides, and today I'm going to show you how I build an indie rock track from the ground up in Pro Tools and give you a sneak peek into my new song, Your Window. Let's listen to all of the vocals in the chorus together, Acapella.
Outside your window, so come on, and you're feeling sentimental, but the moment's gone, and don't slip inside your slow-mo replays of what went wrong, when it's all outside your window, so come on.
This song is about getting out of your walls, going into the world, embracing life, joy, happiness, love, all the good things that exist outside of our walls. Let's get started with the foundation of the track, and that's drums. I've got a kick mic, got my snare, super flat drum sound. So I put towels on the toms and the snare, making them like completely dead. In the choruses, I wanted to poke out more, so I added a sample. It tells the computer every time a snare was hit, play this recording of a snare. And together, it makes the snare pop out a lot more. The overhead is a mono overhead. That's how they recorded Ringo's drums for a really long time, like almost every Beatle recording, and actually the same mic I used. Going for a retro, nostalgic sound, drawing a lot of influence from the Beach Boys and the Beatles in terms of what kinds of tones I use and how I record things. I have a room mic here, and it's a mono room mic, but this is going to get technical for 1 second, but I threw it into a figure of 8 pattern. It made a copy of itself and then phase flipped one of them, tandem left and right. What it's become is a mid-side stereo image. The room mic is the sides, and the mid is that overhead, and they are 15 feet away from each other, but it still gives you the impression of stereo. That's not how you're supposed to do it, but I discovered it on accident one time, and it freaking still works. So that's the drums. Next, percussion. That's just me here clapping in front of a little mic like 8 times until it feels like a stack of people. I've got a tambourine. You just can't have a song without tambourine. I took a ukulele and I muted all of the strings and then just strummed it. And it sounds like a strummed ukulele, but it doesn't have a big ringy open tone to it. And so it gives me a ukulele vibe without taking up too much space in the track. So let's hear those drums with and without the perk. And then with your perk. The percussion does a lot to add to the rhythm and to the flow and the bounce of the song. Let's check out bass. I rented a 1970 Hofner bass, which is the same bass that Paul McCartney used. And he didn't use this one, but this is the model he used. Come on, you knew that. So I sat here and screwed around with it for a long time and came up with a bass line that I liked, and here's that. It gives it lows, but it's not like a big, deep, booty shaking, like low end rock your subs. It's very punchy and percussive. Boom, ba boom, boom, boom. All right, so let's dive into our chorus guitars. The first guitar we have is an arpeggiated lead played by my good friend Zach Ummer, and he's playing it through a Fender Princeton amp. We've got a little bit of amp reverb on it, and then all of Zach's magical, fantastic pedals. And so here is the arpeggiated guitar part. Two guitar parts I played. They are both on a baritone Dana electric guitar, courtesy of Nathan Sepulveda. Here is baritone part 1. That's actually a Kemper, which is a guitar amp simulator. The second baritone part is more playing the roots. One's panned a little left, one's panned a little right. We've got a lead guitar part. I called it Blink Lead because to me it reminds me of something Blink-182 would have done. The Blink 2 lead So it's the same exact thing, just like an octave up and with a different guitar sound. And what those do functionally in arrangement is you're in the chorus with these low kind of guitars and that arpeggiated guitar, and then all of a sudden in the end you get these high plucky guitars, and it just raises the energy one more step in the chorus. One other guitar part we've got here, actually it's 3 guitars, but they're doing a rhythmic stab. This to me was very pop punk. And so this is 3 parts. That's the same thing, it's just doubled, and then there's a harmony. And those just really amp up the very end of the chorus. So now let's listen to the chorus, just the guitars. We'll hear all the guitars together, and you can hear how they all operate functionally to make it a super rockin' chorus, bro. Only really a few more elements instrumentally going on in the chorus. First is a piano, played by my good friend Nathan Sepulveda. It's just playing the chords of the song. Nathan can play incredibly, but that was just what was called for, so he humbled himself and played basic. And then I've got a Wurlitzer. If you don't know, is an electric piano. On a piano where they hit strings, instead it hits these little metal reeds. When it's not amplified, it almost sounds like hitting mallets or something, but it has pickups inside of it like a guitar would, and you can plug it into an amplifier, you can plug it directly into your system. Now with a piano. So both these parts very simple, but they're filling out the chords. Ooh, did you hear that chord Nathan did right there? What? That's a pretty chord, Nathan. Good job. Mirroring the Blink-182 guitars, I have this ukulele that's playing the exact same thing. So the ukulele is actually doing a lot to help the guitars poke out, and it's changing the tonality of the guitars, and I think subtly giving you a little bit of a beachy vibe. If you were listening to the track, I don't think you would think there's a ukulele there. For my lead vocals, I recorded the part twice. There's one panned to the left, and there's one panned to the right.
When it's all outside your window, so come on, and you're feeling sentimental.
And I've got this echo here. It is a UAD Galaxy Tape Echo set to this gnarly setting. What I ultimately liked about that setting is it has this super bouncy thing to it. And I pan the echo straight up the center. So the vocal perceptually kind of comes from the sides, and the only thing in the dead center of the vocal is the echo. It makes the vocals very, very spacey and ambient, which some people really like and other people really don't like, but I like it.
When it's all outside your window.
I recorded my vocals again a third and a fourth time, same thing, but I did them on a lo-fi mic I have, a AKG D19, and distorted the crap out of it by overdriving the input of the preamp. You now have 4 versions of my vocal. The distorted ones are panned all the way extremely left and right, and the more normal ones are kind of in the middle.
When it's all outside your window, so come on, and you're feeling sentimental, but the moment's gone.
Next, after the lead vocals, we have a harmony. Here is the first set of harmonies for the chorus. So you've got, what is that? This many. 8 tracks of vocals singing basically the chord that you would play on the piano for this song. All outside your window, so come on. All outside your window, so come on. I'm feeling sentimental, but the moment's gone. All outside your window, so come on. All outside your window, so come on, and you're feeling sentimental, but the moment's gone. Next, I've got a high harmony.
On and you're feeling sentimental.
You can hear it's got kind of a wavery tone to it, and that's because it's a double. Both tracks have slightly different timing and pitch, and so they have this wavery, washy quality to them. For Nite Tides, part of the sound is things being a little more raw. On top of that, we have a slightly lower harmony.
So come on, feeling sentimental.
So right there, you just heard it dropped out. Sometimes it's hard to think ahead to what the harmony is going to be. And so I'll record harmony lines over the whole chorus, and then I'll go through and be like, all right, where do these need to be deleted or simplified? This high harmony and low harmony work together, but they also clashed over certain areas. So I'll show you the low harmony and high harmony together and bring the lead vocal back in.
So come on, and you're feeling sentimental, but the moment's gone.
I've never sang a harmony quite like that. Da 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 da. It's very like up and down with its melody. Then I've got this track I called High Harmony Stabs.
Gone wrong.
It's like way back there because it's a little dissonant. And then we've got a set of harmonies on the Slip Inside Your Slow-Mo part. I wanted that part to really pop out.
Don't slip inside your slow-mo. Replays of what went wrong.
If I play that with the lead vocal, it sounds like
Don't slip inside your slow-mo. Replays of what went wrong.
and then if you hear it with the chord, and then you add in the high harmony and the low harmony,
Don't slip inside your slow-mo.
and then it's definitely my favorite part, vocally. I'll skip you to chorus 3 because we get a few more cool vocal ideas. One, we get this sort of round.
All outside your window, baby.
When you were a kid and like probably at school, they did like row, row, row your boat gently. Halfway through, another group's supposed to start singing row, row your boat, and you're doing it off timing, and like somehow it all stacks up and it sounds really cool, and every kid in the room's like, what? You guys on a different time, but it sounds awesome. That's a round. So this little round, it's another set of vocals singing words from the song, but with a different timing, and it's also a different melody.
And you're feeling sentimental, but the moment's gone. And don't slip.
Then I have this part that's a bop.
Bop, bop, bop,
Literally, it's a bop. No, it's a very doo-wop thing to do.
bop, bop.
Sounds super corny by itself, but in the track, I thought it did something cool. Honestly, it does very little in the track, but it doesn't ruin it either, so I left it in. Brings a little more energy to the final chorus. Then in the final chorus, I also added a few extra BGVs.
It's outside your window.
Now that you know what all the parts are, I'm going to play the whole chorus and just quickly move through it, soloing tracks up and adding them to each other, and you can hear it be built in real time. Piano, Wurlitzer,
At your slow-mo, replays of what went wrong. When it's all outside your window. So come on,
That is the chorus of Your Window. I hope you learned something, but for now I'm going to sign off and say thank you guys for watching, and be sure to listen to Your Window on January 1st, 2021, the distant future, and I'll see you in 2021.
come on.